Hello and welcome to our first Facebook Live of 2017. My name's Harriet and I work for the marketing team at In-Kind Direct. This Christmas we ran a campaign with Disney where Disney donated over 6,000 soft toys to over 100 charities. And part of the campaign was to send photographs and videos, and all of our charities took part, and it was brilliant. However, one of the main feedback that we had from our charities is that they didn't know how to tag us on Facebook to share their photographs and to share the photographs and videos on social media. So we pulled together a few short slides to train everybody who needs it on how to interact with In-Kind Direct and your donors on social media. So, to treat or not to treat, is that the question? What's the point? Oh, by the way, I'm sorry, you might be able to hear some awful sounds in the background. We are currently undergoing some building work, so please bear with. What's the point of social media? This is something that a lot of charities in particular don't necessarily see the value of social media. It's something that you don't have time to invest in, posting this and tweeting that. But it's really, really, really important to the charity sector. Without a budget to go off and do these big marketing campaigns, social media is a free and easy way to connect with your donors, supporters, and the wider world to raise awareness of what you're doing. So the point of social media is to inspire and connect and engage with those stakeholders. 59% of people who engage with causes on social media donate money to them. That's a huge amount. This is your main door to being able to access all of those people and to get money to your charity. 27% of donors worldwide quote social media as the communication tool that inspires them most to give. This is because on social media you can share your stories. That is the most vital part to any charity, to share your story and engage with people in that way. Another point of social media is being able to make, build and maintain networks of valuable connections. This can be done with Facebook, with Twitter and with LinkedIn. It gives you direct access to the people that you need to access. When somebody, for example, is in London and you're up in Birmingham or Manchester, it can be quite difficult to contact them in their office. But this is a way that you can access them directly. And online giving is set for huge growth in the coming years. Very few people, you might have had this when you've had buckets at supermarkets or on the streets trying to raise money for your charity. Very few people have cash in them anymore. For the future, the main way of giving will be online, and social media is the main way in which you'll be able to encourage people to donate to you. And if you have a website, which hopefully a lot of you do, because most people when they're checking out a cause will put you into Google, and if you don't have a social media page, if you don't have a website, you don't seem as legitimate to all the other causes out there. So the point of social media is to drive that traffic to your website if you have it. So keys to success, how do you use social media? It's one of the biggest questions that people have. How much time is it going to take me? How do I use it? How do I find the people I want to find? This is what we're going to try and address in the next few slides. So if you go back to that one. By the way, I've got my team here. We're a very small team In-Kind Direct and the marketing team. We're 3 people and we're all in the room. So create visual content. So like Facebook and Twitter in particular have changed a lot thanks to the pressure of Instagram and Snapchat, those instant photo and video sharing tools. So that's what people want to see. They don't read as much. We're not reading as much. So you can put as much text out there as you want, but it's not going to have the same level of engagement as photographs and videos, which can be difficult to come across. But all you don't need a fancy camera. You don't need to pay for a photographer to come and take photographs. With your mobile, most mobiles now have great cameras on them. But that's all you need. That's all we use most of the time when we go to different charities, when we go to different events. We take the photographs on our mobiles, and they're not that bad. You can take great ones. So this is also the way that you're going to get more engagement. People are going to like your posts. People are going to share your posts. meaning that you're accessing a much wider range of people. Yeah, so that's you need to be able to create that kind of content, and there's lots of free tools out there if you're not able to get photographs because, for example, your beneficiaries are highly vulnerable people and they don't want their images shared. That's fine, we understand that. We have that issue too with many of our charities. So what we'll do in those instances is to create these sorts of word clouds and infographics, words onto other images, and there's loads of free tools that you can do that with. If you just put into Google how to make an infographic or how to make a word cloud, there's plenty out there. Even on your mobile apps, there's plenty out there. Just search for it. Know the science of social media. It's a lot of trial and error with social media on how to access the people that are following you. There are certain types of people who go on at different types of days, so you need to try and figure out who is your audience, who is engaging with you. Are they mums? Are they stay-at-home mums? Sorry. Are they people who are working from 9 to 5? If so, maybe they're checking their Twitter or Facebook accounts first thing in the morning or after work. You need to figure that out, and that is a lot of trial and error. But once you put that initial research into it, you'll find that you're accessing the people that you really want to access. So with Facebook, you need to be posting 5 to 7 times weekly. That seems a lot, but even if it's just a photograph or just an update on a campaign that you're running, or a link to your Just Giving page or whatever page you're using to raise funds for I don't know, a run that somebody's doing for you. Whatever it might be, it's just something, showing activity. Twitter as well, you need to be posting a couple of times a day, and it's something that you can spend some time on, like first thing on a Monday morning, which is what we do. First thing on a Monday morning, we create all of the content we want to share that week, and then we schedule it. And there's lots of scheduling tools you can use. Hootsuite is one, and there's a free version of that, which is pretty good. That will allow you up to 3 social media platforms, and that allows you the time to do it all in one go, schedule it for the week, and then not have to think about it necessarily if you haven't got the time. Do you want the next one? Really horrible photograph of myself and Laura. This was the other. So we're new to Facebook Live as well. We're just starting. We're just starting to embrace it. We're going to be playing around with it. The first Facebook Live, Laura, and I did back in December, I think it was an introduction to our charity partners, or you guys, charities, non-profits and social enterprises, all who order from us. So we were sharing some tips and tricks on how to use our catalogue and how to get the most of it, which you'll be able to find in our videos on Facebook. Use Facebook Live. It's your broadcasting tool. Facebook Live, Twitter Live, Instagram, all are tools that you can have on your mobile app, as a mobile app, and be able to share whatever it is that you're doing. So say if you've just received a donation and you want to capture that to be able to report it back to your donors to say thank you. It's very little effort. All you need to do is to get out your phone and start the video. And it just helps to increase the engagement and to show a face to your charity, which is also very important. If people are going to give to your charity, they want to know more about you and the people who are working for the charity and all of those things. So it helps to take down those barriers and provide a face for your charity. Okay, the next one. How to grow your followers. It's tough. It is tough. It takes a long time. It can take a long time to grow your followers. One way to do it is to engage with people that are already engaged with your organisation, so your donors, your supporters, people on your email newsletter list. If you create links to all of the different social media channels that you're on, it just makes people aware that you are active on these channels, and it will encourage them to check in every once in a while. So also put it on your website, your blog, and your print materials, whatever it is that you're putting out there. Just advertise the fact that you are on social media. Yeah, I'll leave it at that actually and go on to the next slide. Turning likes into actions. This is something that social media has been yeah, it's a contentious issue because people say that, okay, you can like this, you can like that, but what does it actually mean? It does have a significance anyway. People liking and sharing your content shows that people are growing an awareness of what you're doing, and that in itself is a huge benefit to your organisation. If people are seeing that you're active and talking about whatever it might be, whether it's homelessness or domestic violence or elderly support, whatever it might be, if they can make that association with you guys, it helps hugely with new donors coming on board, new supporters coming on board, new beneficiaries finding your service. So there has its bonuses, but you also want to get something else out of it. So concise calls to action. Quite a lot of charities that I've worked with in the past have put out some really cool content, but it hasn't had a follow through. It hasn't had a clear, this is what we want you, this is what we're putting out, and this is what we want you to do. So that's the vital link. You need to make sure that you're doing that. Whatever your call to action is, whether it's to donate money to your organisation, to spread the word, to go to our website, to check this blog, whatever it might be, make sure that you have it there. This all kind of ties into the same point, but it's all about story sharing. And I've said this already, but I can't stress it enough. Building your story, telling your beneficiary's story. If you can get, and again I've said I know it's difficult for some, but if you can get any member of your organisation to do a piece to camera, to talk about what you do and why they work with you if they work or volunteer for you, or why they use your services, it just helps to build knowledge about why you're there, and then that then serves to aid why people should give to you. Testimonials, getting quotes, again that's something that you'll be able to share on your social media posts. Testimonials are key because it shows that somebody's willing has experienced your service, really enjoyed the experience and wanted to share it. So it can seem a little bit weird, the whole social media thing. You don't know how to engage with it. We've talked about what posts that you need to be sharing, but what happens when somebody responds to you? Because that's what it is. Social media is an online conversation, and that is the point. It's this new arena, this new network that you have access to talk to people. So identify what you need to be talking about and who you need to be talking to. Cultivate the relationship by telling stories and taking people on a journey of what you do. And then, as we said, have a clear call to action. And then acknowledge, make it personal and shareable. So that's the point where you get to the replies. If somebody on Twitter or on Facebook, whatever the social media platform you've chosen is right for you, responds to something, asks a question, answer it. Have a conversation. That's the whole point of it. It's meant to be laid back. It's meant to be relaxed. It's meant to be as if you're there in person having a conversation. So that's the mindset you need to go into when you're having a conversation online. And be consistent. Tone of voice is something that can really come across. If lots of different people are in charge of your social media accounts and responding and posting, it's quite obvious. Everyone has their own tone of voice. So you need to, before you start posting anything, you need to decide what tone of voice you guys want to be putting out there, whether you want it to be very sociable, whether you want it to be very fun and playful, or whether you want it to be professional. You need to decide that, and then ideally have one person who's in charge of all of the communications that are going out. Just so you've got that kind of safekeeper, you have that control over knowing what's going out there. Next slide, please. There are risks to using social media, but the benefits really do outweigh all of the risks. These are just things you need to be aware of. That you will get trolls. There are some people out there who will try and write comments that aren't conducive to your campaign or your call to action or whatever it might be. And there are certain ways that you need to respond to that. because everything is instant, because if somebody responds to your message with something that's not very nice, or you don't want to be there, it's likely, or it's possible rather, that by the time you've seen that message, so have X amount of other people. So purely deleting the message isn't necessarily the best way forward, especially with the first message. So say if you've put something out there and somebody's responded in a way that you're not happy with, answer that, and as you would in a conversation, provide a constructive response to that message. If that person then gets back to you again with something that's equally constructive, then you can either hide the message or just end it as you would in real life. Just think about it as if you're in that real life situation, what would you do? And act and take it that forward. Also, just with a little note on your passwords for your social media accounts, we recommend that you try and change your passwords as often as possible, at least twice a year, just to avoid, again, you might get people who try and hack into your account to get some data, whatever it might be. It's a low risk thing, but it's something that you need to be aware of. Just try and change it and make sure that it's characters, letters and numbers and a combination of different things. That might be it. Okay, so over to you. So these are a few ways in which our charities I'm saying our charities, the charities in our network, charities who order from In Kind Direct. We see it as we're one huge network of not just charities and non-profits, but also donors. It's this wonderful kind of advantage that we all have, that In Kind Direct is able to facilitate this kind of access to all these different stakeholders. So the more that you engage with us and the more that online, the more that we're able to retweet or talk about what your charity's doing, the more likely it is that everybody in our network will be able to see what we're doing and learn from each other. And it's a wonderful opportunity for everybody we see it that way. So we really encourage you guys to work on social media as much as possible. Share that great content, the photographs, the videos, and do as much as you can and build it as much as you can in 2017. This year is our 20th anniversary, so we will be upping all of our communications with everybody. We've got a number of really cool events that we've got lined up this year that we'll reveal in due course, and we would love to get involved with you all online with those things. So stay tuned on that. And good luck. If there's any questions or anything like that, or if you would like a copy of this presentation, just email marketing@inkinddirect.org, and we'll happily share it with you. And likewise, any questions, just please get in contact. Thank you very much, and we'll see you again soon.